Back here with another tip for your weekend golf play, joined by Colin Emery, a head professional here at Weston Golf and Country Club. And Colin, as much as we'd like to hit every fairway, it never seems to happen that way. And so we end up with decisions to make on certain shots about whether we should try a risky shot, maybe to get out of trouble, or maybe we should pitch back into the fairway. But in a situation like we are now, we've got a situation where we want to hit the ball low, keep it under or around a tree. I don't know how to kind of play those shots. Maybe you can walk us through how we can kind of get out of jail here and minimize the damage to our scorecard.
Sure. I think the key word there that you mentioned, Bob, is decisions. And you've hit a poor shot. Everybody hits poor shots. I think the way that you manage getting out of trouble determines how to shoot better scores. So I'm faced with a shot here where I've got tree limbs about 15 feet away and about 15 feet high. I want to get the golf ball back in play. If I can get it close to the green, it's a real bonus. But worst case scenario, I hit the tree and I could be faced with a shot that's even worse than what I'm faced with now.
So decision number one really is make sure you get yourself back in play, whether it's just chipping out or whether it's down the fairway.
Absolutely critical, and your ability or your skill level will somewhat determine that.
Okay, so assuming I have the skill level, which is a big assumption, to play this shot, give me some technique and some tips on how I can pull this shot off.
As you mentioned, Bob, decisions are important with this type of shot, and depending on your skill level, you could chip it back into the fairway or try to get something up close to the green where you could maybe make a par. A couple things you're going to have to do with your swing and club selection, critical. Less loft eliminates the chances of me hitting that tree, which I think would be the worst case scenario. I could be faced with a shot that's even worse than what I'm faced with or more difficult than what I'm faced with now. So less loft, I think, is the key for sure.
Okay, so you've got the loft of the club figured out. What about your setup?
There are some changes I'm going to have to make with my swing to execute this shot properly. Number one, ball placement. As I look at this ball, it's actually going to be right of center, leaning the shaft toward the target slightly. I'm also going to close the club face, which is going to help promote a little bit of ball movement. It's going to move the golf ball from right to left. The swing itself is going to be a little bit softer. When I swing the club a little bit softer, there's less spin. Less spin keeps the golf ball lower, which will keep it under the branches. And I'm also going to have a little bit of a low and abbreviated finish, which helps to keep the golf ball low as well.
Okay, let's see you play that shot then. Good shot, Colin. You're back in play and on your way to another birdie and taking more money out of my wallet. Try that this weekend. If you get in trouble, folks, it's easy if you know the right technique.